You've done the work. You've built the business. Revenue's climbing, clients keep coming back, and you've got the calendar chaos and caffeine dependency to prove it. And yet, some part of you is still whispering, who let me be in charge?
Who's in charge here?
I am, but I don't want to be.
You're Googling things like how to lead a team in one tab while answering client emails like the seasoned pro you are in another. You look successful on the outside, but on the inside, you're second guessing half your decisions and triple checking every sentence in that email that you already rewrote 4 times. It now reads like it was ghostwritten by Jefferson Fisher, and you're still not sure if it sounds confident enough. You hesitate to raise your rates, share a new idea, or show your face online. Not because you can't, but because you're still bracing for that one person to think, well, aren't they a little full of themselves?
How did you know?
If any of this hits too close to home, take a deep breath. You're not crazy, and you're definitely not a fraud. But you are a business owner with a very human brain, doing very big things while occasionally wondering if you should just work for a taco truck instead. Today, we're talking about the thing most entrepreneurs carry, but rarely say out loud. Imposter syndrome.
Imposter!
What it looks like when you're the one signing the checks, why it doesn't mean you're failing, and how to keep showing up as a confident leader, even when your inner voice sounds more like a heckler than a hype man. This isn't about faking it till you make it. This is about becoming the kind of CEO who can trust themselves, even when their confidence hasn't had its morning coffee yet. Welcome back to another episode of The Cozy CEO, where we keep it honest, strategic, and only slightly unhinged in the best way. Well, hey there. I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of The Emerald Edge. And around here, we believe building a business shouldn't require sacrificing your sanity or your soul. The Emerald Corner is where spreadsheets meet self-worth, and where building a life you love doesn't get buried under 12-hour workdays and a mountain of self-doubt. We talk money, mindset, growth, and leadership, but we never forget you are the most valuable asset in your business. And confidence, it's not just a vibe. It's a line item. Add it to the balance sheet, right between strategy and SaaS. In this video, we're digging into the very real, very sneaky ways imposter syndrome shows up for CEOs and business owners. Even the high-achieving, spreadsheet color-coded, Google Calendar obsessed kind. Yeah, I see you. You'll learn how to spot imposter syndrome when it's pretending to be just staying humble, shift from spirals of self-doubt to decisions rooted in reality, build authentic confidence without becoming some robotic version of executive presence, and lead like a powerhouse even when fear is doing a whisper campaign in the background. We'll walk through mindset shifts, real-life strategies, and a few stories that might hit a little uncomfortably close to home. But don't worry, we're all friends here. Because you don't need to feel 100% confident to lead powerfully. You just need to know how to move forward, even if you're doing it in fuzzy socks with a side of self-doubt. Ready to jump in? Let's go there. So first, let's start with a curveball. Imposter syndrome doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're in motion. Think about it. You don't question your ability to microwave leftovers or put on pants, hopefully.
I'm pretty confident in that.
That's because those things live squarely in your comfort zone. But the second you step into something new, uncomfortable, or remotely next level, well, your brain fires up its internal alarm system. And suddenly, imposter syndrome shows up like an overzealous hall monitor with a clipboard and a bad attitude. But here's the kicker. The presence of imposter syndrome is actually evidence that you're growing. You're doing something that matters. Something that stretches you past what you already know how to do in your sleep. And that uncomfortable tension? Well, that means you're not coasting. You're not phoning it in. You're fully in the game. So next time imposter syndrome pipes up, don't take it as a stop sign. Take it as a status update. Well, hey there, just letting you know you've officially outgrown your old comfort zone. Proceed with power. Because the goal isn't to eliminate it. The goal is to keep leading, even with the peanut gallery in your head throwing shade. Want to know one of the most persistent lies in entrepreneurship? That confident leaders walk around all day radiating certainty like they're a walking TED Talk. Spoiler, they don't. They just have the tools, the habit, and a backup plan for when their brain decides to go full chaos goblin at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Confidence isn't some sparkly personality trait you're either born with or you're not. It's built layer by layer through decisions that don't always feel great in the moment. Sometimes confidence looks like staring into the abyss of your Canva draft or rage Googling, QuickBooks won't let me reconcile again at 2 a.m. But still, you keep going. So here's the truth. Confident leaders aren't fearless. They're just not waiting around for fear to leave the room. They make the best decision they can with the information they have. They hit send and trust that future them will clean it up if needed.
Yeah, that's future Marshall's problem.
And ironically, that's exactly what builds the very confidence you thought you needed to start in the first place. Want some proof? Let's get a little personal. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually train other accountants to become CFOs. Every week, I meet with these brilliant, credentialed professionals, people who have built wildly successful firms, who could probably recite the tax code in their sleep. And you know what every single one of them wrestles with? Yep, imposter syndrome. Despite the stacked resumes, the loyal clients, and the actual receipts of their success, they still wonder, who am I to do this next thing? They hesitate, they overthink, they shrink a little, just like you might be doing right now. But then they take the leap. They lead their first CFO call. They run a strategy session. They act. And suddenly that voice in their head starts to lose volume. Because confidence doesn't come before action. It follows it every single time. And you can have the same results.
You teach me your ways?
Let me guess. When you land a new client, solve a tough problem, or finally finish that funnel you've been avoiding for 3 weeks now, you downplay it with a shrug and it wasn't really that big of a deal. But if you type a one word in an email or awkwardly wave at the end of a Zoom call, your brain wants to etch it into stone like you just cracked open the 10 commandments of failure. That's not humility. That's bad data hygiene. Here's the deal. You've already done hard things. You've launched offers. You've recovered from total flops. You've made decisions your past self would have outsourced to the flip of a coin or a magic 8-ball. But imposter syndrome loves to cherry pick your lowest moments like it's building a case for the prosecution. And you, well, you're too close to the evidence to object. So here's your homework. Create a confidence file. I'm talking screenshots of rave reviews, emails from grateful clients, wins you forgot to celebrate, photos from moments where you showed up. Toss them all in. This is your personal highlight reel. No production budget required. And when that tiny voice pipes up with a, you don't know what you're doing, you open the file and remind it that actually you do. And here's the proof. This isn't fluff. It's a tactical confidence backup system. Because let's be real, positive affirmations are cute, but sometimes you need cold, hard evidence to shut down your inner critic.
Shut it down.
Some of the most confident CEOs I know, you'd walk right past them in Trader Joe's. No megaphone, no power pose, no boss babe mug in sight. And yet they walk into a room and you feel it. Not because they're loud, but because they're solid, centered, aligned. Calm in the face of a Slack emergency and a toddler tantrum at the same time.
Trust me, I can handle anything.
Confidence doesn't mean you have a perfectly curated grid or a snappy comeback for every troll in the comments section. It means you know who you are, what you offer, and why it matters. And that knowledge, it whispers louder than most people scream. So if you're second guessing everything lately, from your pricing to your client boundaries to what you even want out of your business, take a pause. Ask yourself, am I saying yes when I mean heck no? Am I selling something that makes me cringe or selling it in a way that makes me cringe? Am I showing up online like a knockoff version of someone else I follow? Because imposter syndrome loves to hang out where alignment is missing. The fix isn't shouting over it, it's tuning back in. You don't need a louder voice, you need a truer one. And if you're still not sure, I have a business health quiz on my website. It's fast, it's free, and it will help you see the issues you've been missing faster than you can say kit and caboodle. And the best part? I give you honest, actionable steps to take to improve the areas you are struggling in. It's legit, and your business and your sanity will thank you. I'll link that below.
Yes, sanity.
Remember, you're not here by accident. Your business didn't just sprout legs and build itself while you slept. You did that. And every CEO you admire, well, they've had moments where they question their seat at the table too. Probably while eating reheated leftovers at their laptop. But what made them powerful isn't perfection. It's that they stayed. They kept showing up, even when their inner critic was louder than their group chat. You don't have to feel invincible to make an impact. You just have to keep moving with integrity, take bold action when it counts, and give yourself credit for how far you've already come. So let me know in the comments, what's one win you've brushed off that you're finally ready to own? Or what would shift if you stopped waiting to feel confident and just started acting like you are? And hey, if you're wondering where imposter syndrome might be slowing you down, jump on over to my website and take that free business health quiz. You'll walk away with clarity on what's working, what's bottlenecking you, and what to tackle next in less time than it takes to fake focus on that spreadsheet that you're working on while mentally planning dinner. Well, thank you so much for spending just a few minutes of your time with me today. And remember, confidence doesn't have to be loud, but it does have to be yours. And thanks again for tuning in to the Emerald Corner, where coffee is the co-host and showing up scared still counts as showing up. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video.